As Shashank said, my name is Gregg Tilston. The question that I had is, did anybody ever think in a million years you'd be coming to Singapore and you'd have two Torontonians on one panel? I don't know, I think that's very odd. But anyway, so Edward and myself both being from Toronto. I'm going to take you way back to the beginning of Flight Center's social media strategy. When I say way back, we're going back 4 years. That's so long ago. And then I'm going to take you all the way up to today in terms of what we're doing. Looking at what our advantages are, when I say our advantages, I'm not just talking from Flight Center's perspective, I'm talking everybody in the room. The advantages that we have with social media and travel is that people love to dream, people love to share, and people love to invite their friends into those experiences. So that's at the very highest level why I firmly believe social media is a huge match for all of us in the room today. Communication plans, policies, really, really important for us. You know, when something happens, I almost swore there. I almost did my own expletive, and I promised you I wouldn't. I'm glad I did. Inner monologue worked. All right. When something happens, you know, who responds? How does it go? What's the first thing the social media team can say that acknowledges the situation but doesn't accept liability? Internal code of conduct. Who can speak on behalf of the company? You know, when we have as many employees as we have, you know, and most of them are frontline staff, they all want to get out and promote their business. So how do we put in place the policy so that they can go promote their business while not really disclosing any proprietary information? We are publicly traded, so that's very important. External code of conduct. How do we moderate? How do we work with the community when situations happen? One of the things that came out of that was actually on our Facebook pages, we have a social media responsibility. And what this does is this talks to the community of how we're going to respond with them and engage with them, but conversely, you know, what we expect on our pages. Now, we all know that the Facebook community think it's not our pages, it's their pages, and that's fair enough. So when they come on, they'll make a complaint. We acknowledge it, we take it offline, we try to deal with it. They may not be satisfied with the outcome. They'll go back on, they'll make a second one. What this policy does that we can point to is say, you're 3 times, 4 times, 5 times, you're starting to beat a dead horse, so we're actually going to now start deleting those posts, but we've left your original ones for transparency purposes. To me, anybody who says social media can't be KPI'd, I don't want to hear about that. And the reason I don't want to hear about that is, depending on where you are in your social media strategy, set targets, whether that's growth of community, engagement of that community, activation of that community, and then conversion of that community. This is a case study that we did with Google Analytics and our agency Loves Data in Australia. The assisted, so not just the direct from social to conversion, but the assisted. So they're coming to our website, they're going to social, they're engaging with us, they're coming to our website. That tripled in terms of the conversions. And then the last thing I love about it, this is what I absolutely love, 10 times the revenue based on the assisted social conversion. So significant, significant numbers. I think, again, it's a start. But I think for our team, and I think for all of us in the house, is that it really is a huge opportunity to take this kind of data and convert on it. Big data. What we like to call it is not quite so little social media data. And this is sort of the future scope for us, and that's where how can we keep engaging people? How can we keep getting them coming back to our pages, engaging in our applications that are coming out of our content management system, and then really start looking at that data and understanding those users, understanding which of those are, long-haul flyers, which of those are traveling domestically regularly, which are Disney fans. And if we have a targeted approach and a sustained approach across the next year, 2 years, 3 years, we're going to be able to start to pull that social data out of Facebook. Again, is anybody from Facebook in the house? Because if so, I might retract what I just said. But no? Okay. It's really about getting in and understanding the social consumer and how we can then start targeting to them. Again, I talked about being attached to our EDM database, how we can then start remarketing based on social data and drawing them back either into the website or back to Facebook based on what they're interested in.